Alright, hello. So I'm going to show you guys how to use the Dutch Angel Dragon avatar and how to customize it to fit your character. I don't have anything set up yet, so I'm going to start from the very beginning. I'll try to make this as easy to understand as possible. It can get confusing with all this stuff that you need, but I promise it's not super difficult once you get the hang of it. So the first thing you want to do is buy the avatar here, which you can get from Meelo, and I'll include all the links wherever I post the video too. You are going to need to log into VRChat.com and get the SDK 3 for avatars and download that. For Unity, you literally only need this to see the avatar and to upload it. You don't really need to do anything else. So I recommend getting Unity Hub here, and this basically lets you select the version that you need, which you'll need Unity 2018.4.20 F, this one here, which if you have Unity Hub installed, you can already put Unity up there. So the first thing you want to do is download all this, and I have everything saved here. In one file here. So these three come with the avatar that you download. The textures and everything are going to be in here, the raw model files and all that. And then this package, which you'll need. And then this is the SDK 3 from VRChat. So to set up, the first thing I recommend doing is setting up the VRChat Unity scene. So first thing I usually do is open up the Unity Hub. Move this over here. This can take a little bit to upload. Alright, so I, as you can see, have many. So you can select New in the drop-down arrow, and so make sure you are selecting the correct Unity thing, because this is the one that VRChat uses, and it needs to match VRChat for it to upload correctly. So it's going to be a 3D package. I'm going to name this one Brim VRChat, because I'm going to be doing my Dutchy Brim. And I save all of my avatars in this folder here, so that's fine. I'll create. I'm getting this set up first because if you get it set up correctly before you start doing the textures, you can see what the textures look like as you're doing it. You can also do it later on, of course. I just find it easier to set it up first. And what this is basically doing is Unity is creating folders. So if I go to my desktop here and I go into, there we go. So we'll see Brim here. It's created this folder and everything is going to be in it. So this is where we're going to want to save our texture files, which I'll get into. And what we can do while this is loading, I'm going to switch over to my program here, my art program for the textures. I use Clip Studio Paint. You can literally use any program at all that can accept PSD files, which are Photoshop files. So you can use Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint. I think free options, you can use Fire, Alpaca, Krita, GIMP. GIMP's iffy, but you can use Psy as well. That's a cheaper option. So what I will do here is in the Angel Dragon files here, open the texture files. Now you don't need, oh, they have Psy files specifically, but yeah. You won't need all of these, but I'm going to open all of them so that you know, and I'll show you what they all look like and what they're for and how you can edit them, but you won't need all of them. So you'll see like the body one, which one you'll absolutely need. If you're Dutchy, if you're going to put the hair floof on the top of its head, which is this thing right here, then you'll want that texture specifically. The hooves, if your Dutchy has hooves on the bottom of its feet, you'll want that. The shirt, which I'll show you, is currently it's set to the Dutch Angel Dragon logo, the official logo for the species, but you can alter that and change it to whatever you want. And then the tail, which is one you're going to want. This is for all the tails. So there's nub tails, the feather tails, the fluff tails, that's all going to be in there. I believe the horn textures are in here as well. So we'll see here. And it's the texture, just in case no one's familiar with it, you're basically unwrapping the 3D model so it lays flat, kind of like when you unwrap a globe and it looks wonky when it's flat. And that's basically what you're doing, and then you can color it really easily. If you're familiar with Substance Painter, you can put it in Substance Painter. It's very difficult, so I'm not going to go through it. This is the easiest way that I do it, and it's fairly simple and straightforward. Now that that's open, so this is what Unity looks like. And this is very basic bones. You can, just some simple movements here. If you hold Alt on your keyboard and your left mouse button, you can rotate. The scroll wheel is going to go in and out. If you hold the scroll middle mouse button, you can pan. So this is how you'll navigate your scene, which will be helpful later. So to get this set up, and this is very important because you want to make sure that you're doing this right, in the right order, or VRChat gets very mad at you. So the first thing you want to do is import the SDK. My computer's gonna get very mad at me. Okay, so everything, don't worry about, you don't have to read through it, it's just everything VRChat related. Import. So that's all uploaded. You'll see this over here, you can ignore all that. So, but you'll see the SDK up here. If you go to Control Panel, it'll bring up this screen, and it's going to ask you for your login information. We can worry about that later. You don't have to set that up right now. So the next thing you want to drag and drop in there is this Unity package. So the reason why you want to import this and not the actual models itself, like these FBX files, is Meelo has gone through the trouble of literally having the avatar set up for you. So you do not need to apply dynamic bones, set up the avatar descriptor. It's all set up and ready. So if you upload this or import this, that's all going to be set up for you. So that's the next thing you want to import. This one will be a little easier. It also has all of the animations, blend shapes, all that good stuff. So now the avatar is imported in here. So you're going to see all this stuff down here. Now, the thing that you want to click on is this one. This is the Angel Dragon customizable Unity package within a Unity package. So if we open that up, you're going to get these two avatars. Now this, the sun is a little weird here, but we can, if you click on it and do E, we can rotate it. That's weird that that's set to E. Okay. And you'll see where the sun is. You can also change the color here. As far as I'm aware, this is not imported into VRChat, so it's just so you can see. I personally like to duplicate the sun and then do another one facing the other way so that we can kind of get the full shade here. All right, so here are some instructions. I believe this is Meelo's Discord down here. So if you need additional help, you can reach out to Meelo specifically and this Discord, and they can help you out here. But you can delete this or you can keep it. It won't matter. So you'll see two versions here. You'll see the hooved version and the one with paws. You choose the one that you want and delete the other one. So here, Brim does not have hooves, so we're going to delete this one and hit the delete key. So now we are left with the paws. So now we pick and choose what features we want to keep, because you'll see everything is added on already. So he has all three tails added at the same time, all of these crazy horns. So we're just keeping the ones that fit him. So let me bring up his reference sheet here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So this will be easier until that pops up, I guess. So you'll see where he has the head fluff, he has the horns, spiral horns. He does have a weird nose horn, but I'm going to use the default one. And he has tail fluff, or the nub tail. He also has additional spikes on the arms. The avatar obviously isn't going to have these, so I'm going to ignore them for now. That is something that can be added on if you are comfortable editing the default avatar. But I'm going to use what is basically given to me. So let's go back here. So what I do is I click through everything and it's going to show you what they are. So the body, obviously we want to keep. Feathers, we don't need those. So I'm going to go ahead and hit delete. There we go. Feathered tail, we don't need that. I'm going to wait for this one. I'm going to come back to that one. There, don't need that. Hair, we're going to keep the hair. Curly horns, we're going to keep. We don't need the straight horns. We do not need the wavy horns. The shirt you can keep. This is toggable, so it's not even going to show right now. It is something that you can add later on. Ooh, my keys got messed up. Let's switch to the right key now. That's okay. Cheek horns. He does not have those, so we're going to get rid of those. Okay. Back spikes. He does not have those. Delete. On the head. Nope. Okay, spikes on the tail. No, he has a short tail, so we can delete that. That is a nose spike, which we're going to keep that one. We don't need that one. Alright, so now we can kind of see what this looks like. For him, I think I am going to, if you're ever out of focus, like you can always click on the avatar and just hit F and it centers it, it frames it. So if that's not working for you, I'm having some issues rotating for whatever reason. All right. So I'm going to, I don't like the fluff there. That doesn't really fit his reference. So I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. All right. So now we have this blank avatar. So this is all set up now. This I can delete. I'll go through what this is too. But it basically puts a snazzy little base icon for your avatar. All right. So we have that set up. So the next thing we want to do is your textures. So what I recommend doing is, we haven't saved this yet, so this is the default straight out of the zip file. So we have to save it. So I go to save, and we're gonna go back to my VRChat folder, go into Brim and Assets. I believe. I want to make sure. Yes. Assets. Okay. This is where I'm going to save all my texture files. That's saved. The hair, we need that. So we're going to go back to Assets. I'm going to save this file path. Hit save. All right. This is the hooves texture. So you would do the same thing if you have the hooves. We don't, so I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to close that. This is the Dutchie shirt. I'm not going to alter this. I don't have a reason to. But if you ever want to change what's on the texture, you can do that here. And then this is the tail, which we do need. So I'm going to go ahead and go. Oops. All right. All right. Assets. There we go. All right. So that is saved. So if we go back to Unity, all right, it's going to load. So it registers that we put the textures in these folders. So it was recalibrating and reloading those into Unity so that you can see them. So then what you want to do is click on the body, and you're going to see the main texture here. So we're going to grab the dad body, put it there, and now it's showing. And we want the hair. Grab this, and you're gonna drag it into this little square box here where it says main texture. That's where it's gonna show up. The horns are gonna be part of the tail UV. They're all put into one. So we're gonna do the same here. And that should auto load for that down there as well. Perfect. All right, so we'll see. This is exactly what it looks like here. It's the same exact thing. So once I edit this here and I click save, it will update in Unity here so I can see what he looks like as I am saving. So I'm going to go through the texture real quick while I'm doing this. Let me grab his reference sheet here. So I got him down there. I'm going to make this bigger so I can color drop. So everything is in folders and everything down here. I'm going to grab his base color here, which is this gray. And you can kind of turn everything on and off. If it's less complicated for you and easier for you to kind of go through it, you can turn everything off and then just go through it as you need it. I prefer to keep everything on just so that I know where everything is. So I'll go to the base color here. I'm going to, in Clip Studio Paint, I lock transparency, which is this thing up here. And I just color. Lock transparency is this godsend that you're only going to color where there's already color. So you don't have to worry about messing up the base. All right, so the next group here are the eyes. For Brim, he's got like these teal looking eyes. I'm going to color, there we go, color drop. And we're going to go into the eyes, which are these two. Now, you'll notice that this thing is symmetrical. And Meelo has this thing here, which is half. If you're using Clip Studio Paint, I think other programs allow this as well. But I know how to do this in Clip Studio Paint, so you can use a symmetry ruler. So if you go into here and click the symmetrical ruler, I'm gonna create a group here, and I'm gonna zoom in so I can look at exactly where this thing is. I'm gonna hold Shift down so I get a straight line. Oh, that's a pixel off. Hold on. There we go. Right. Nope, that's a pixel off. There we go. It's very difficult to see, but there's this purple line here now. So if I draw on one end under this group, it'll do it on the other end too. So that way you only have to worry about editing and altering half of the base at a time. And it'll just copy it over automatically. So what I do is that symmetrical ruler is a part of this group. So what I'm going to do is put everything under that group so that it will do the same on no matter what layer I alter, it'll be symmetrical. All right, so for the eyes, we'll see the eyes are down here. And one thing that you can do if you're not sure what you're about to alter, like the eyebrows, for example, I click and hide them. And you can kind of just see, oh, that's where they are. So these are the eyebrows. So, which are part of the eyes. So Brim's eyebrows, if he has any. If your duchy doesn't have eyebrows, most don't. I do highly recommend putting it a separate color than their base texture, because it does add a lot of expression to your character. So for example, he doesn't have any, and the area up here is teal. So I'm going to use the black color actually for his eyebrows. So I'm going to lock transparency for the eyebrow layer and color those black. All right, eye base. I'm pretty sure this is just, yeah, the background of the eye, which for him is white. I'm going to bring his reference sheet down here so I can look at it easier. Yeah, so we'll leave that white. Eye color, okay. Lock transparency, and we're going to color that this teal color. Here you go. And you'll see it's over here too. All right, this light gradient, black transparency colored in. That's a little bit much for me, so I'm gonna go make it a little more saturated here. There we go. And for this one, we'll do the same color, but I'm gonna do a little bit darker. There we go. All right, and the pupil, that's gonna remain black. All right, so we have that. Now I'm gonna show you what happens. I'm gonna save this. Okay. And if I go back to Unity here, it's gonna recompile itself, and you'll see that now he has them pretty blue eyes. So this is what I'm going to be doing as I alter the texture to make sure things line up and that they look good. You'll also notice he's got the where the polygons are, like the outlines. We'll hide this layer. This is a layer that you can hide layer, so don't worry about this too much. I do use it as a guide while I'm altering, so I know where things are going to end up on the base, but you can hide this. Don't worry about that too much. All right, so we're going to go back to Clip Studio Paint, and we're going to keep going. All right, face markings. All right, the mouth. I might leave this as is. He's not super special in his mouth area. He does have a gray tongue, but that's something I might change. So I might just keep this as is, but I'm going to go through it. So this is the inside of the mouth here, and then you'll see up here he's got some additional stuff. I realize you can't really see my cursor, but the gums up here, and teeth and claws, okay, which is up here. Keeping those as white, so we'll keep that as is, I believe, right? No, he has black claws. Okay. So let's go back. I'm gonna shoot a dark color here, and his claws, I believe these are the teeth and these are the claws, because you'll see these are his paws up here. So I'm just gonna color these in real quick. Blah, 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 blah. All right. I believe that's for all of them, but we will find out. Yeah. Okay. Face marking. All right, this is where we get a little bit weird. So his head, actually, I'm gonna go back to the base color because his head's a different color than the rest of his body. So I'm gonna color drop that white. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna color the base here white. All right, so I'm gonna hide all these face markings. Coloring. There we go. All right. All right. And these small face details are gonna be like the go back to Unity here. You'll notice he has some black outlines like the around his eye. You can leave these as black if you have a very weird duchy that has something, you know, unique there. Feel free to edit it, but leaving it just as black is just as fine too. All right, and then the eye marking. That is gonna be his around here. Oh, so definitely want to alter that. So I'm gonna color drop this. Opacity. There we go. And color his eyelid so that the eyelid is the same color as the thing around him. All right. Now, these face markings, I don't think are gonna fit him too well. So I might do this by hand, actually. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm gonna create a new layer here. And I'm going to just manually color this. And feel free, if you're not comfortable using a tablet, you don't have to make new marking layers or anything. You can use these to the best of your ability and preserve the opacity and just color them in and use that to fit your duchy as best as possible. There's a few different options that you can use. So you can, you know, turn those on and off and experiment with those. I prefer to color them on my own when they don't work, but I do use them when they do work because they're pretty cool. They're pretty good. All right. And this texture is going to be the body one, is going to be the one that takes the most time to fill out. The other ones are very simple, but this is where most of the details are. And you'll see these are the spikes and the feathers. Brim doesn't have these. He has one on the nose, which is this one down here. So this is the only one we're going to color. Right here, let me get a better color. These are going to be the cheekbones, the cheek spikes. And these are going to be the spikes along the back. These are going to be the feathers on the head. I think that's it for this one, yeah. For our markings, so I'm going to hide these. But these are basically going to be the markings on the arms. And if you have different colored fingers, you can do that here. I'm going to hide those for now. Same with the legs, because he has his wings. All right, so these are the wings up here. His are pretty standard, so his wings for the most part are white. The inside of his wings they're kind of this brown color here, so we'll keep that, and I'll show you what that looks like. What that's like when you're viewing the inside of the wing, there's like an extra layer of feathers, and then he doesn't have any wingtips, so we're gonna leave that as is. And then you'll notice this gray part here. That's just the outside of the wing, so I'm keeping that the base color. There is gonna be some black on there though, but I can add that in later. All right, and then his ears. All right. So the ear fluff, so all the fluff inside of the ear is going to be here. For him, he's got these like speckles, but we're going to keep it white for now. And he has, I think, he doesn't have any ear tip markings, so his entire ear is just black. So, color drop that black. So hide that and hide that. If you do have tips on your ear, you can just color it in there, but his is just one thing. So I'm just gonna color this black on the base. And then, one thing you can do if you're not savvy with drawing on your own, or you don't really have a tablet or anything, you can use the markings from the pre-made avatars that are free, and just alter them here. So like you'll have some stripes for the spots. So this would actually work for Brim. This one would, but I wanna draw it on my own because they're a little bit weird. But you can use that and mix and match these markings, so you can do both of these at the same time if you wanted. And then here you'll see like there's some moon and stars and stuff. And you can also move these around, like, you know, there's a specific spot you want to move and you can move it somewhere else. So you can alter that. This layer is going to be the shading layer, which just adds some depth. So all this fur that you're seeing is just painted on. Same with the lighting, the eye shine. And then this is the UV. So you'll see, we just hide that when we save the final thing. And then this text, you can leave this on, you can leave it, but it is helpful because Meelo has written out what exactly UVs are what. I'm going to keep that on there because it's easy for me to know. All right, so I'm going to save what it looks like so far. I'm going to go back to Unity. There you go. He looks pretty bone bare. So you'll see this is the inside of the wing here that I was talking about. I got some weird shading going on. with these suns. But it doesn't look like this when you import it. This is just how Unity is looking at it. We also got a weird white spot there that I want to get rid of. And if I go to Clip Studio Paint and I hide this layer and resave it, and then go back to Unity, it's all gone now. So you can see what it looks like. The tail's a different texture, so that's still gonna have it. Same with the horns. All right, so now I just need to alter the rest of him. If I want to add more layers onto like the base layer or anything, I will create a new layer and clip it. And that's basically going to allow me only to color on whatever's directly below it. So if I color, I can only color on the base. All right. Okay. So one thing I haven't touched on yet, and I'm gonna fast forward through most of this. All right, so if you turn this upside down, you're gonna see the back of the character, and it's kind of laid out flat here, so front and then the back. The paws, like the hands, which you see haven't been colored yet, are gonna be here. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly just color those brown. And I'm going to stay pretty far from, you don't want to put dots right on the seam here, because that's where it's going to get cut off, and you'd want to repeat it over here where it, like this square here, that seam line is going to be over here somewhere. It's going to continue on. It's very difficult to get those to line up. A lot of people are going to have stripes where they'll need that. So that's definitely where I would recommend cross-checking over in Unity and updating constantly so that you can get those to match up. And I'll kind of show you what I mean here. Like if you had a leg marking here that we needed to match up over here, let me just draw that in real quickly. Save. And you'll see here in Unity and be like, oh, it's way off. I had it drawn here and it's down here. So you can count the polygons. This is where these lines come in handy. And say that you need to take this one and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to meet the bottom of here. So then I would go into Clip Studio Paint. So this needs to be like way down here and not here. There. See, we're getting closer. So then we go back. This is pretty darn close. It's actually going to go into the thing here because he doesn't actually have a stripe in this location, so I'm not really paying attention. Well, there we go. Oh, that actually didn't end up too bad. One of the suggestions that I do end up, if you do have stripes that happen to be across this seam line here, is when you're drawing, make sure, or I would recommend using these as a guideline. So when you're drawing, get rid of this, we don't need that. Like say you're drawing a stripe, use this as a guideline. So now he has a stripe here, so that you know exactly this cross here. That's where you'll need to draw it to. So rather than trying to figure out which between these 2 points it's gonna be, you already know it's gonna be at this point. So that way, when you're drawing, you can use that seam as a reference to where your stripes are. All right, so a few things. He has a shoulder fluff that is not the right color. So that's somewhere on the UV texture sheet we'll need to edit. I want to make this bigger out here. Bring these out more. So this is probably going to be one of those things where it's going to surpass the seam line. And then these are not matching up here. So I'm going to bring this down 3. Alright, you'll see it matches a lot better because I counted, but not perfectly. So all I have to do is bring one of these up or down, like a few pixels or so. Over here, surprisingly, it does work. Alright, this I'm going to bring in a little bit. Now his chest fur is also, this is, yes, this is on the body, okay. So I will color that white. Alright, and you'll see here, it's pretty cut off, so I'll have to do that on the front side. And I want to make these more spots on the wings here and here. Looks a little bit weird. We can fix that. And you'll notice it doesn't directly go into the feet very well. So I'll have to fix that. Alright. Now, and you'll see here, this is where this is cut off. So alter that. And I want to show you guys one error that you might get, which you don't have to worry about. But if you save and it doesn't save completely, so we'll save, and I'm going to go back to Unity. You might get this error. Just exit out of it. You just might have to click Unity again once it is finished saving for it to update. Alright, so that looks it's a little bit better, because you see I'm trying to go in the middle of the polygon here, of the UVs. So it's a little weird to get it exactly right. Alright, so I'm going to call him done for this one specifically. I'm going to hide the UV, do a final save. There we go. So the next things that we want to do is tail, the fluff, and the horns. So we're going to go back and go to the hair. Pretty simple, right? His rough sheet is here. So I'm just going to color drop, take this, go to the base, preserve opacity, save that, go back to Unity. There you go. And there's his hair floof. Alright. Go back, go to tail. Now, he has only the nub tail, which is going to be the short tail down here. These big things are the horns, and then this obviously is the long for the feathered and the fluff tail. So split right down the middle. You can do the same thing with the guidelines, which I probably will be doing here. Alright, and you'll see he has horn colors and his tail. Now, it looks great, but that's a shadow. I'm going to add more spots here. And another thing is I want to add his horn indents. So I'll draw those in. So now this avatar is all ready to go. So with most avatars at this point, if you're watching this for other avatars, you're going to want to add the dynamic bones and the avatar descriptor, which you would do here. So you'll see though that this already has it on there. Your dynamic bones, which if you hit play, and move him, you'll see he jiggles. He's got the moving tail. He's got the ghost tail from the big long tail, which looks weird. His ears move and everything. So that's where you'll add that, but you don't have to worry about it if you're using this avatar specifically. That's all here. This is the avatar descriptor, which we'll see. This dot here is where you're going to see out of in VRChat. But this is already perfectly positioned, so you don't have to worry about it. Another thing that I haven't altered in the UV yet is the inside of the nose, which I just noticed looks very funny. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. That is going to be this thing right here. So I'm okay with the color, but the outside of the color is what's weird. Either the space around it, so I'm just going to color that white. That looks much better. All right. So yeah, don't forget to color your nostrils if they're anything different than the base color. All right, so he's all good to go. The other thing that you can do, this part is completely optional, but if you want it to look good in the system and all that, there is an extra texture somewhere. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be called the icon. Bring that open. And this is literally works just like a base. So you'll add all the different horns. This is very easy to fill out, which I'll go ahead and do that actually really quickly. Gonna show up here. I'll click that and add it to this thing up here. And I'll show you what that's for. So he's all good to go. So now we're gonna upload him to VRChat. So we're gonna click on the VRChat SDK, show control panel, and you're gonna sign into VRChat. And we're gonna get some errors because VRChat doesn't think that this avatar is perfect. Most of this is fine. The only thing though here is the map textures. Just auto fix that. It'll take a little bit, but it's not gonna mess up your avatar at all. All right. Now, if you want to test your avatar before uploading it, you can do the build and test and just open up VRChat, and it'll pop up as an avatar in your account. But no one else will be able to see it. Just if you want to go in for testing purposes, or you can just build and publish for Windows, which is what I'm gonna do. All right. So we can put this over somewhere, hide this, don't matter. All right, so I'll name the avatar Brim. You don't need to put anything else, just that you agree. You can use this default image, or if you want it to be the icon, you basically go to, what you can do is you go to the VR cam here, and you're basically, if you're still on the rotate tool, to switch between these, the W is move, E is rotate, and R is scale, which you'll never use really scale for anything. And you're basically going to move it in this space to focus on that base that we just filled out. I like to keep his credit in there. There we go. So if we go back over to the game, you'll see that's what it's gonna look like, and we're gonna upload it. And with this space specifically, make sure that you have private selected and not public, otherwise people will be able to steal it, or clone it, I should say. So once this is done, upload complete, launch VRChat to upload your content. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and take a look and see what it looks like and how you guys can access it once the game is open.
Hello. So this is what I have so far. You'll notice that the feet are a little wonky. This is something to do with my headset and my height that I haven't figured out quite yet. But it's supposed to look like this, which is when I crouch down. But if I stand up, it does that. But move my camera over here. So this is what he looks like, all good in VR. And if something you wanted to do was change the shirt, this is what that looks like. So you could change like the logo or, you know, however you wanted. And let's see. There you go. So you got a little tail wag. Yeah. So yeah, he's all up and working good. The height is something I need to fix. And as you can see, there are multiple expressions that you can do just by touching the controllers. This all works on desktop as well. So don't worry about that if you are only a desktop user and you don't have VR or anything. Okay, mirror. This totally works in desktop as well. I think it's R for these reactions, and then I think the F1 keys are going to be things like your face, doing stuff like that. And you can mix and match and different things. You got the blip. So yeah, hopefully this helps. You can reach out to me, join Meelo's Discord. There's a lot of people willing to help you get this all up and running, but thank you.